Hello, welcome to the Nearly Show. And today I'm going to read you some bits of diary writing, which I've been doing as part of a life writing class at City Lit, which I'm really enjoying. And, well, here we go. 28th of January, I wrote, I'm writing this on a portable Olympia Travel Deluxe typewriter I bought on eBay recently, identical to one I owned years back. I love the cliche clackety sound, of course, and the absence of pop-up notifications, though my phone is still here beside me to provide all that. I can't play music on the Olympia, nor read what I'm reciting as I go along, which has the advantage of giving the words some brief privacy, a few seconds to themselves before even the author gets to see what they mean. And I find it hard to write on this machine about anything other than the act of typing itself. But I do like grappling again with the clunks, zip and ping. 29th January. Yuli, at 2 years old, loves words and delights in their flavours, mimics us saying, absolutely. Enjoyed singing Yik Yak Mud with me down by the river, as much as he liked stamping his wellied feet in the actual stuff. He takes pride in mentioning the hospital appointments, which Grandad goes to in his friend Bill's big red car. Yuli worries I might be ouchy. And he likes chatting to us on the pewter at breakfast when one of us can talk to our daughter while the other pulls faces with him. Yuli's aim in life is to watch more TV, so on-screen grandparents suit him perfectly. I'm astounded that the internet has worked so well over the past year. Any futurologist or dystopian novelist would have predicted digital meltdown. These are the strangest and tenderest of days. We're cut off, yet closer than ever to each other, our children, neighbours, and a community of friends and family on chilly walks or web chats and social media, the cloud of half-knowing. 30th of Jan 2021. Writers group on Zoom this morning involves all the usual unmuting and failed screen sharing. One member in Perth, one in Bedfordshire, the rest a few streets away from here. One eating muesli, another with only his chin visible. Yesterday, I partook in a daily morning warm-up with up to 100 invisible students across Europe, copying the exercises of a dancer in her South London front room. Together we can text, chat, then concentrate on our moves, hidden and anonymous without any fear of being seen. The web makes possible new permutations of connection and loneliness. We are hug-hungry. We are personal distancers. We are multitudes in a world transforming, clumsily reinventing what closeness means. So I'm off pills this week. I start my final chemo round hopefully next week. I've got blood tests and COVID test on Monday. I've been jabbed. I feel a weird mix. I feel much more myself in some ways, but then very, very aware of the effect of drugs when I do take them. And I'm amazed and slightly horrified at how spaced out I've been for the last 6 months. It's a really, really, really tough time for everybody, I think. Everyone feels knackered and they've been going round and round in circles, and even the creative ones feel they've sort of run out of things that they want to do right now, or run out of the will to do them. So feels like a good time to be kind to oneself and each other. Good to be watching the impeachment stuff going on, feeling like America is kind of telling itself what's been going on in quite a forceful way. And what else? Thinking about, well, like I'm saying, and now really, how we can maybe take the best of what's been going on in our digital lives back into the world when we can go back into that world. But it has been amazing how we've used all these things like Zoom. People who've never done it before have become completely au fait with it. In my role as a director of Ifbook, looking at the digital possibilities for literature, I'm kind of pleased by that and hopeful about it. Much as it'd be nice to hug people and be in the same room with them and drink coffee with them again. I really miss, it's weird, one of the things I miss is the fact that I'm loving the space I live in with all my typewriters and books and bits and bobs. But nobody else has been in here apart from Hattie, my wife, for such a long time. And that seems as strange as not being able to go into town or go and see a film. But I'm going to read you a piece called Bound about my granny. Oops. In her quiet way, my grandmother bound our family together. Her desk was used to keep track of her household expenses, the whereabouts and birth dates of relations. Its musty drawers and compartments held checkbook stubs, Basildon Bond stationery, postcards, keys, a stick of sealing wax. Mostly she lay on the sofa in her first-floor flat above our portion of the house, watching colour TV while I potted around her. Nonny was the name I'd invented as a toddler because I couldn't pronounce Phyllis. Many women of that generation seemed to be landed with nursery nicknames, all those fuffies and chuffies and gagas born before radio, world wars or universal suffrage. Nonny kept a supply of posh treetop squash and Terry's all-gold chocolates. She had subscriptions to Life magazine and Encyclopedia Britannica, which arrived through the post volume by volume, though I never saw her reading one. And she owned the clunky mono Bush record player on which I played singles by the Beatles, Cilla Black, Freddie and the Dreamers. Nonny rested while I drew and wrote and jabbered away about my secret life as undercover spy and pirate radio DJ. It never crossed my mind or hers that she might enter any further into my games. I think of her not quite smiling, but looking on calmly, passively. It was said that on the day of their wedding, her husband brought his bride a cup of tea in bed. Phyllis thought it rude to tell him that she didn't like tea, and so he brought her a cup every morning for the rest of their marriage. In widowhood, she gardened and played Scrabble with her sister Maudie, an ex-communist eccentric spinster who always argued about the rules. Maudie wore tweed, Nonny the standard old lady uniform of blue-white permed hair, glasses, long skirt, cardigan, her stocky body encased in stiff girdle. Her stout body is the way I might write the word. Her stout body encased in stiff girdle. I love my granny very much, but don't remember hugging her. Nonny shed a tear each Christmas when the boy soprano on the radio from King's College sang Once in Royal David City. She had the Times delivered daily and voted Tory, whereas Mum was Liberal and Dad a member of the Labour Party, but never discussed politics, nor, as I recall, uttered opinions on anything much. But then one Sunday lunch, I heard Nonny say that her youngest son had been beaten once as a boy by his father to make him work harder. She didn't seem to regret this act, but pondered whether or not it had been effective. I was horrified. No adult ever hit me, though the threat loomed fearfully around all children then. My eyes were opened to how little I knew her real views on anything. When I was 15, Nonny went away to the coast for a weekend and died of a heart attack, quietly and neatly as ever. I remember Mum and I on the sofa crying together. And then Mum opened up to me about the problems of having her mother in residence upstairs. It wasn't that they argued, more the controlling power of her presence in the house. When I'm old, Mum said, even if I beg you on bended knee to let me live with you, Chris, don't ever give in. And my eyes were opened even wider.